This is an official message from the Kludgian Governing Body.
Ladies and gentle Kerbs, glory to Cludge. As you are aware from the latest press release from the Ministry of Truth, Kerbin is at the brink of war. Due to reports of enemy activity, we have been instructed to posture defensively in preparation for possible attacks. To explain Cludge tactical preparations to the lay Kerb, may I introduce our Kerbospatial Intelligence and Senior Strategical Analyst for State Security, Mr. Lembel Kerman.
Thank you, General Bobble. As the supreme intellectual strategist of the Kludgian Governing Body, I will explain the genius of our defensive strategies currently implemented across our lands, starting with revealing some of our defensive craft. First of all, this is the KGB AAA Echo 66, or Egbert for short. As you can see, it is egg-like in structure, the commonly known strongest naturally occurring shape. This armored egg can survive up to one whole impact from even the most mediocre of munitions. As the more literarily savvy of you may have noticed, it also does Bert, a nod to the massive 30mm cannon strapped to the top of it. The next craft, the sister to the Egbert, is the KGB AAA Echo 66 Sierra, or the Egg Spurt. This takes the eggy structure of the Bert and flips it on its head, quite literally. There is no munition that can penetrate this armor from an aerial attack, unless of course they happen to hit any of the 8 radar-guided missiles strapped to the top, a signature weapon platform that gives this craft its spurt. Finally, we have the KGB AAA, the overall package, combining both the Bert and the Spurt of our already formidable anti-air emplacements. Now, if I could direct your attention to the truth screen behind me, we can give you all a brief overview of the current state of Cludge. Ladies and gentle Kerbs, approximately 8 days ago, our top scientists received seismic data spikes and eyewitness accounts that led us to the conclusion that at least 4 rockets were launched by our neighboring countries. In response, we at the Kludgian Governing Body have decided to launch one of our own. Assuming that the sneaky Svernins launch a spy satellite to snoop on us, we sat our rocket on the launch pad and had our top trained scientists sit out there for 5 days watching the stars to see if any looked to be satellite-like. After identifying one star that looked suspicious, we launched our first rocket while the suspicious Svernin star stopped stalking. This first rocket launch was a complete success, and our communications satellite was installed in an equatorial orbit. After establishing communications, it turns out our suspicions were correct, and there was a spy satellite that we avoided thanks to all of our astronauts being extensively trained in the art of using sextants. Equatorial is comms, and then polar is spy. Sweet. So I have comms.
Hi, Cludge.
Hi, Sverna.
Hey, my satellite, I think, can I see you right now?
We're with the spy sat? No.
No, so I'm on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, so you don't know that I have a commsat yet.
Yeah, you picked a good window.
That's why I sat on the runway for 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder what that rocket's doing on the launch pad.
Where'd it go?
Hey, what? I presume it's blown up into the ocean, as you can expect from Kludgians.
Why'd you say that like a slur? Seeing that the sneaky Svernins surely started snooping on us, we launched a spy satellite of our own as a precautionary measure, which went just as flawlessly as the first launch. Okay, so not that way. I want to go this way. I almost made another fucking commsat accidentally just now. I just corrected it.
Good save. Good save.
Oh shit! I pressed the wrong button. We're good. And your spy sat's still on the other side of the world.
Again, perfect timing for you.
Why do you think I waited on the runway for 3 days? And with that, our very own spy satellite was established in a polar orbit, and, my fellow Kludgians, our greatest fears have been realized. It seems that all major countries are beginning to posture for war, but fear not, Cludge is always prepared. Seeing as a lot of Kludge's bases are within such short proximity, the interior bases have been left slightly less defended, for now. Each base is armed with at least one Egbert. The bases left with minimum defenses for the time being are the Kerbal Space Center, birthplace of all Kerb kind, and home to our most used rocket launch pad and one of our largest runways. It is the main base of the so-called Four Sisters base chain, previously used to train our Kerbs for island hopping assault campaigns. Island Airfield, the next closest of the Four Sisters to the KSC, this base has been left abandoned for several years, but due to the threat of war, it is slowly being rebuilt. Kola Island, a very short distance from Island Airfield and the southernmost base of the Four Sisters, it is also the most recently constructed. It is shrouded by the neighboring island's mountains, and with a runway so close to sea level, it is a great launching point for covert ops. Jeb's Junkyard, the northernmost base of the Four Sisters, and similar to the Island Airfield, it is in the process of being reclaimed. Possibly the only upside of this base is that the runway is realistically a rough dirt path in the middle of the Clea Plains, so this base is used to train our pilots to emergency land in the wilderness. Camp Party Rock, the R&D center of Cludge, home of Aerospace Engineering Task Force Skunkworks. This base hosts another large runway and Cludge's second rocket launch pad. With its close proximity to Cool Lake, many naval craft are able to be tested in a controlled environment. And finally, Kerbin Atoll, the most southern and most isolated base in the middle of the Etanamic Ocean. This base has multiple large runways and a third rocket launch pad. This is one of the only bases on a completely Kerb-made island, made as a tribute to Cludge's first Khazar and founder, Jebediah Kerbin. Now the following bases are all closely bordered by our enemies, and are therefore our most defended. Keenemund A1, a very close base of operations to the IMP and its most prized base, Bill's Locker. This base hosts two mid-sized cross runways and a good amount of hangars. This base has both an Egbert and a AAA. Sandy Island, only around 70 kilometers from Keenemund, this base locks off the Strait of Cormuz, the most likely avenue of approach for the IMP to send a naval attack into the heartland of Cludge. This seaside base hosts one large runway and a few helipads, and the ability to launch naval defensive craft. This base is defended by an Egbert and an Egspert. The Clarden's Naval Port, hosting the main fleet of the KGB and its flagship, the KBS Babul Kerman. This base is very close to the neutral state of Camberwick Green, the IMP, and SSS, hosting an improvised runway and multiple helipads. This base has both an Egbert and a AAA. Lodestone Logistics Command, the KGB's near-Arctic research base, and being right on the border of the neutral Polar Research Alpha base and close to the FSK. This base is full of research buildings and laboratories, housing the second largest population of Kludgian scientists after Camp Party Rock. It has two large runways and a large array of helipads, and is defended by two Egberts and one Egspert. Finally, we have Cape Kerman. This base, located in the Bay of Kerbal, is very close to the neutral Nepo Kaki rocket base, a potentially advantageous capture in the future, and the border of the FSK. This is yet again a base very close to the sea, with another large runway and Cludge's fourth rocket launch pad. This base holds two Egberts and one close-kept secret of the KGB, an incredibly powerful intercept fighter, codenamed the Attack Goy, short for Governed Operational Jaeger.
Thank you, Mr. Lemgel-Kerman. My fellow Kludgians, fear not. As you have seen, Cludge is prepared with defensive measures and ready to retaliate in the event that any of our Kerbs are attacked. To all other countries across Kerbin, our communications are up and we are willing to talk, but remember, burn fields and dead Kerbs if we are attacked. Glory to Cludge, and Christ be with you all.
Hello.